All right, so my name is Paul Stratton with Stratton Inspection Services. I thought it'd be a great idea to start a podcast. We're going to name it The Vendor Voice. So Stratton Inspections with the Vendor Voice. I wanted to start a podcast because I thought it was great that we add some value to the real estate industry. And I've noticed out there a lot of vendors kind of accumulate together, and the agents are over on this side of the room. And I'm hoping that we can bridge that gap and try to add some value to the real estate industry and also some education to the real estate industry as far as the vendor side goes. So we're going to have different people on here. Right now I've got Tiffany Turner on here, and she's going to be asking me some questions.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. We have a lot of vendors that we work with in the real estate market, some really exceptional vendors that we trust, and it's going to be fun as we get going to have them on and introduce them and let them speak about what kind of value they can add. But today we're going to talk to Paul Stratton and ask him a few questions just to kind of get to know Paul and what Stratton Inspections is all about. So Paul, just wanted to kind of have you tell us a little bit about yourself and your background, why you got started in the inspection industry.
I got started in 2008 in the inspection industry. I didn't even know what a home inspection was. And so my brother Mike actually said, "Hey, Paul, with your construction background, you should be a home inspector." And I'm like, "What's a home inspector?" So he kind of explained what it was. I researched it a little bit and went to school to become a home inspector. At the time, I owned a landscaping company, a commercial landscaping company in St. George, Utah. And so I went to school and got certified to be a home inspector, and it kind of took off from there.
So you have your landscaping background. You also have an electrician background, right?
Yep,
Which actually makes you really good at being a home inspector.
Oh, it's helped so much. I think anybody getting into the industry that has some sort of construction background is so far ahead of the game. And so with my electrical background, my dad was an electrician. My brothers are electricians.
So you grew up with it.
So I grew up with it. Yeah, we grew up wiring houses and all that. My dad would put us to work and have us do that. So it really helped, was kind of a no-brainer getting into this industry.
Awesome. Yeah, I know you're great at what you do. You've also started building some multi-units up north, and you've got your general contractor license for that. Is that right?
I'm working on my GC right now. I do not have it right now, but I am building some apartments up north. That's been a lot of fun. I actually love building and kind of creating and seeing what you can do. And I just happened to walk into this property and got it rezoned for multi-unit. And so I started building sixplexes on it, and it's turned out really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, they are nice. It's been fun for me to just kind of watch the progress of it and see your photos and have them go up, and they look really nice.
It's been a lot of fun.
So you said you started home inspection business in 2008. What was that like? Couldn't have been fun.
So, yeah, it was so crazy because in 2008, I kind of went through a hard divorce as well. And the economy also tanked. And so we had that recession as well. And so when I moved from, my business was actually taken off in St. George, Utah. And then with the recession and my divorce, I ended up migrating back to Arizona and starting over. And between working for a property management company, kind of doing rent-ready stuff and hoeing weeds or painting or whatever they needed to get a home ready for rent, I was marketing inspections on the side. And so I was lucky to get one inspection a month. I didn't know anybody really in the real estate industry when I moved here, and I had my kids full time. And so it was really difficult, but when everyone was jumping out, I was jumping in because I had nothing to lose. I'd already lost it all. So I had nothing to lose but everything to gain, and it just stuck with me.
Yeah, your story is very much one of hard work and perseverance.
Very
admirable.
It's so funny because there were so many times I wanted to just quit. Even my own dad said, "Hey, Paul, you sure you want to do this business in this type of economy?" And I said, "Dad, for some reason, I just feel like I need to stick with it." And so I stuck with it, and about 2011, 12-ish, it started to take off, to get some traction.
Yeah, so
it was fun.
That's amazing. And look where you've come with it. How many inspectors do we have now? We've got 12 including you.
Got 12 including me, and then we've got you and 4 other office staff. Yeah. And yeah, we've built a great team, Tiffany. We really have.
We are blessed. We have an exceptional team.
Yep.
Just what's some fun stories? What's one of the most unusual things you've come across in one of your home inspections? Can you think of something off the top of your head?
Oh,
I know you come across
there's
a
a
lot.
lot of stuff. I would have to say maybe one of the ones that stick out, which there's a ton of them, and some of them I can't really talk about because they're not appropriate. But one in particular, I arrived at this home and walked in and I went into the bedroom and the ceiling was literally just kind of caving in. It looked like there was moisture damage. There was just a huge bubble across the whole ceiling. I'm like, what the heck? So I touched the ceiling and it was hard. The drywall was all hard. And so I continued to turn lights on and stuff, and I got into the attic, and they had just replaced the air conditioning unit, and they had replaced the air handler in the attic. And in doing so, they cut 8 members of trusses out of that attic
Oh my God.
to put the air handler in
They
the
cut
attic.
the truss.
Yeah, and so that roof just went like this, and that drywall just went like this.
Oh my gosh.
And it was just the craziest thing. I was like, holy cow. And the people had no idea that their AC mechanics had done that.
Yeah, because who goes up in their attic?
Right. I'm sure they just saw a blister on the ceiling and thought, oh, we need to get our roof fixed. But it was trusses. It was
Oh
structural.
my gosh. Oh,
Yeah. So crazy. That was one of the crazy ones. Yep.
That is pretty nuts. I know you guys and the team, we have a group chat with all the team on it, and you guys love to send the weird finds on inspections, which is kind of fun for the office girls. We get some good laughs out of some of the things you guys find.
That's what's been fun about having a team of inspectors, is because we all have our strengths and our weaknesses. And when one of our inspectors or myself don't know something, and we can text a picture to the group, it helps because we can all educate each other.
Yeah.
And somebody that may be strong in that area may pipe in and say, hey, this is what that is. This is how you need to word it on your report. And it just helps us so much because it teaches us a lot about each other's weaknesses and strengths, and we have somebody to lean on in case we have a question.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, because we have a gentleman that used to have a pool business on
Yeah.
the team. We have somebody who has a background in roofing. We've got your electrical know-how. I think most of our team has had some sort of construction background
Some sort, yeah.
at some point, but it is kind of fun that you
Yeah.
guys can ask each other questions and educate each other. And
It's a lot of fun. We got Matt, that's our framing specialist,
oh yeah,
and a few
phenomenal,
others.
phenomenal new build team.
Literally.
Yeah.
Do you remember when we had Gary?
I do remember Gary.
So Gary, just so you all know, Gary was one of our inspectors that he was actually a chef by trade. But
I didn't know that about
yeah,
him.
he
Okay.
is a cook, a phenomenal cook. And anyway, Tiffany and I have so many memories about him, but
He's a
he was a
character.
great inspector, and he ended up passing away on one of in his home during one of the inspections he was supposed to be at.
Yeah, that
And-
was a rough time.
And one of our team members found him, and it was just
Yeah,
crazy.
because
You know?
we sent him there to check on him, right? Because he
Right.
didn't.
It was a really sad day.
Yeah, I miss Gary.
I know,
He was,
right?
He was a character. He's a
Gary
fun
was
guy.
awesome.
Yeah. Let's see. What's your hobby? I love your hobby. I think most people that know this about you think it's one of the coolest hobbies ever. But tell us a little bit about your roping on the side.
Oh, okay. So I'm a firm believer that everybody has to have some sort of an out, and sometimes it's my kids, my wife, but my hobby I go to is I like to rope. I like to ride horses. I like to get out and hunt, but I love to go to these ropings. For some reason, I can forget about everything and just compete in these ropings, and just
And you
have a
do
good
well.
time.
You're pretty dang good at it.
Well, I've lost a lot too.
He's modest, but he's good.
But no, it's been a lot of fun, and it's just one of the group you're with, or the guys that you surround yourself with, are all mostly really good guys, and or girls,
Yeah.
and it's just a good crowd, and it's a good sport.
Yeah, every now and then I don't hear from Paul, and I'll call him, and then you can hear cattle in the background, and
And I keep
Paul-
telling you, I'm marketing in the arena,
he's marketing.
and
in
I
the
literally
arena.
am marketing in the arena.
And it has worked. We
It's
have
worked.
we have a good group of cowboy realtors
We do.
that
We
use
really do.
us because of Paul Stratton on the marketing on the rodeo ground. What's a good piece of advice that you would give young Paul Stratton? So, looking back, what are some words of wisdom you would pass on about building a business, and maybe some life just some life wisdom, which you probably pass on to your kids all the time too. But
We all do, right?
yeah.
But no, I think really, if I had any advice to give anybody starting a business, especially in our industry, I would say, for one, be patient with yourself. Forgive yourself quite a bit because you're going to make a lot of mistakes. And maybe another podcast, I can tell you some of the mistakes I've made. But
We'll have a podcast just
yeah,
about
that
Stratton mistakes.
that in itself is learning, and you're not going to be perfect starting out. Sometimes you got to fake it till you make it. But I think also building a genuine relationship and developing the people skills to do that, because people know if you're genuine or not. And I think if you can develop relationships of trust and you can develop relationships, I think that'll take you a long ways in business, because you can only go so deep with surface. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you got to have a good personable relationship with people and have people skills.
Honestly, that's one of my draws to working with you, is because I feel like we're so on the same page with developing people skills and having true relationships in business and taking care of people, going above and beyond. And
100%.
I think we both feel very passionately about treating those that we work with like we want to be treated, or even better than
Right.
we would expect to be treated. And
Well, it's funny you say that because, we definitely have great relationships that we've built. And then there's relationships that we've built that we don't have any business relationship with, but I don't expect anything more except to have a great relationship. Someday, maybe it will develop into a business relationship. Who knows? But I think just having that personal relationship with somebody and being genuine in it, that's what's important.
well, we're both very much people person. Like we love
Yeah,
people.
totally.
I love people watching. I love friendships, building relationships with people. I think we both are on that level too.
Oh, and I think that one of the biggest positives that I could come up with on my business is making you one of our marketing directors, because you're so good with people and you're genuine, and that I love that.
It's fun. It's been really fun.
Yeah.
I know I resisted for a lot of years because
You've
I just
excelled,
didn't
totally.
think I could get out of the office, but I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's fun getting to go to events, and which it's going to be fun on that podcast to have some other vendors that we
Oh,
get to
yeah.
meet in events come on and talk about what they do. So Paul, just to put it out there for everybody, what is a home inspection and who benefits from a home inspection?
So, great question. A home inspection is basically we go in and look at the overall condition of a home and see what kind of condition all the components are that are visible of that home. That could be electrical, AC, plumbing, framing, all of those. And so, and people who are looking for a home inspection could be either a buyer, a seller, a homeowner, anybody just wanting to know the condition of the home prior to buying it or selling it or just living in it. And so our inspection is limited to what we can see, but a good candidate for a home inspection are all those three things above, like the buyer, the seller, or just a homeowner.
Yeah, and you mentioned that it's a visual inspection. So can you expand a little bit more on that? Because I think sometimes we get people who feel like we should see things that come up behind the walls, like we have X-ray vision,
for sure.
But
yeah, and we don't have X-ray vision. I wish we did, and we have certain tools that can help us with those things, but like we can only see what we can see. We can't see inside the walls. And some of these episodes on TV where they're knocking down the walls to find something, that's beyond our scope. We obviously can't do that. But we do our best to use certain tools like infrared or droning or moisture meters to detect certain things. And then things what we can really see visible, we really try to notate on that and get the big meat stuff in our report so people know what they're going to be spending or what they need to fix on their home and how much it's going to cost.
yeah, which really helps for if you're the buyer in a home, you can negotiate with the seller maybe on some repairs or taking some costs off the price of the house. So it's kind of a negotiating tool. It gives them a good understanding of what the kind of condition the home is in, and also help get things fixed before they move forward with the purchase.
Yep, just like buying a car, a used car. You want to know the condition before you buy it, so you take it to a mechanic, and we are similar to that. We get your home inspected before you purchase it, definitely, so you know exactly what you're buying.
And I would say a misconception would be pass fail. We're not there to pass off a house. I get that call a lot where buyers are nervous, and they'll call and be like, how did my inspection go? Did it pass? Did my house pass? Did it fail? And
Right.
it's not a pass fail.
It's not a pass fail. It's not a warranty or a guarantee. It's what the condition is at the time of the inspection.
At the time
it's
of the inspection, yeah. So with the vendor voice portion of our podcast, what kind of guests are we looking for?
Oh, man. So we really want, we're going to call them special guests because they really are. And I think anything in our industry, because it's the industry I'm in, is special. So the guests we're looking for would be, it could be a lender, it could be a title rep, it could be a roofer or a plumber or an HVAC contractor, electrical contractor. We'd love to have some really good agents on here as well. And we definitely just want to give value to the industry and try to educate people on these certain topics like title or lending or whatever.
So you'd say anybody that has value they can add to the real estate industry in general is going to be our ideal guest.
Absolutely. Successful business owners, definitely. Anybody that can add value or educate us on more on their field. That's who we're looking for. And that's why I'm excited to start the Vendor Voice, because like I had mentioned before, we go to these events and the vendors are on this side and the real estate agents are on that side, and we're trying to bridge that gap and trying to mesh everybody together so that we can all benefit and educate and ultimately be more successful together.
Yeah, that sounds, it's going to be fun.
Yeah. So thank you guys for watching Stratton Inspections with the Vendor Voice. We are so excited to launch this. You can reach us at 480-215-7264, or you can go to our website at strattoninspections.com, and we'd love to hear from you. And we'll see you in the next episode.